All right, for today's purple to black belt class, we're going to be working on one of our striking combinations. We're working on a little bit last week. We're going to try and put the whole thing together this week. In addition to that, we're going to be working on some self-defense today and make sure we're continuing to make some progress and improvements there. And finally, we'll be wrapping up our discussion on sportsmanship for the month. So for now, we're going to get started with some warm-ups, get our body ready to do all the things we need to do in class. Let's get to it. All right, now that we're ready to start class, we're going to get going with our warm-up. Right? Warm-ups are super important to keep our body healthy, loosen up our muscles, loosen up our joints, get them ready to move without, injuring ourselves, right? So we're going to be doing 4 moves. Each one is 30 seconds, so pretty straightforward. We're going to start off with some jumping jacks. Ready, set, go. Right? So you do your jumping jacks, right? Make sure you're getting your hands up nice and high. Loosen up your shoulders, not just your feet. Elevate your heart rate a little bit. Get breathing, get moving. Right? Just keep going. Right? You go at your own speed. If you're ready to go faster, because you've already been active today, great. If you need to go a little bit slower, right? There's some modifications you can do for this. Right? Jumping jacks aren't the best for you, but that's okay. We're going to move on to the next thing. We're going to do some push-ups. Right? And a few different ways to do push-ups. Big thing on your push-up, make sure you get all the way down, chin or chest to the floor. Right, so we're gonna get started. Ready, set, and go. And as you do these, right, you may do it a couple different ways, right? You're gonna cut in some video of other ways to do push-ups. The big goal as you do your push-ups, just make sure you get that full range of motion. So if you do maybe 5 to 10 of them with your legs straight, and then the rest with your legs bent, that's fine. The important thing is get that full range of motion and make sure you feel like it's a little bit of a challenge, but definitely something you can handle, right? And good, we're all done with push-ups. Ready to go for the next thing. We're gonna be doing some knees with our back leg. Let me show you 1 or 2. It's just like a front kick, only I don't extend. I come up with my knee, and I come back. Come up with my knee, and come back. All right, so it doesn't matter which leg you do. Make sure you're using your back leg though. Ready, set, and go. 30 seconds. It's helpful in martial arts to breathe out as you strike out. Helps you to generate more power. Also helps you to be more relaxed. Right? And because you're more relaxed, you're less likely to hurt yourself. Right? You get more repetitions in, so you're burning more calories, getting stronger. Really very valuable. So good. All right. Switch your legs. We're doing the exact same thing. We're kneeing with our back leg. Ready, set, and go. All right, now for some of these, I'm actually going to turn a little bit so you can see. All right, I'm not looking to be super aggressive. And because this is kind of warm up, I want to make sure that I have my base foot flat on the floor. I want to be stable, right? Especially if you're on a surface that you don't have 100% sure footing on, right? You don't want to go too high. You don't want to lean back. You don't want to challenge yourself. It's a warm-up. Good. All right, and that's 30 seconds of those knees. All right, so we're all done with warm-ups. Let's get into the main part of the class where we work on curriculum. Today we want to spend a little bit of time working on Hugaryu number 2. And what we're going to do is focus in on a couple of the trickier parts of this technique. First thing is, what's a Hugaryu? Right, now this is a strike that we generally don't do with lower belts. It's a little bit tricky, right? And what it does is it hits with the inside of your forearm close by your elbow, right? So if I was hitting this target, it would hit like this. Right, now you can see my hand is past it, right? My hand is actually not touching the target at all. It's all about my forearm. And the way it gets there is a little bit of swinging it, like you might do with like a ridge hand, or wild punch, and also a little bit of straightening it, right? So by straightening my hand, see if my hand goes straight at you, by straightening my arm, my forearm ends up hitting into the target. So first thing is make sure you can do a Hugaryu, because a lot of people struggle with that. They either hit close by their wrist, or they just do a stiff arm swing, right? You don't want either of those. You want to hit close by your elbow, right, just on the inside, a bit like the elbow pit, okay? And like I said, you have to bend it and make it straight. So that's the first thing that people kind of struggle with. The next thing has to do with the dodge. So I'm going to move this out of the way. Okay, so we're using one of our training islands that we're going to be using for outdoor classes. And you can see that I'm standing kind of 1 foot on this red mat and 1 foot on this black mat. And there's that seam in between that I'm going to be dodging around a little bit. So we're not going to worry too much about our hands right now. What I want you to do is you're going to be dodging to your right. I'm mirroring. So you're going to dodge, and you want to kind of get off of that line. Now, you may not have one of these mat setups, but you could have anything to work as a line on the floor. You could be using your belt. You could just lay it down in a straight line underneath of you. You could say like a couple of, joints of tiles or wood paneling on the floor. You could be half on a rug, half off of a rug. Whatever it is, make sure you have that, because the movement side to side is one of the most common problems that people run into when they're doing Hugaryu 2. So let's get to it. We're going to stand 1 foot on either side of the line, right? I want you to dodge both feet that way, right? And then just reset, right? So we're going to dodge, get off that line. Make sure if your foot's still on the line, you didn't move enough, right? Because that's kind of like the line of attack. They're attacking you, you get out of the way, right? One more time, dodge out of the way. Okay, next part, just watch. After I dodge, I'm then going to jump this way, okay? So watch it again. I'm going to move to my right, your right, I guess, and then I'm going to cross back over that way. So this footwork of dodge and dive is important. You got to be able to do that. Okay, so let's just try that a couple times. Ready? Dodge, then dive in. Good, and come on back. Ooh, that slips a little bit on the floor. That's fun. Ready? Dodge and dive in. Just like that. All right, one more time. Ready? Dodge and then dive in. Okay, and you can see how I go off the line, across the line. That's what we're kind of looking for. You go one way, then you go the other way. Okay? So now, let's talk a little bit about what we're doing when we're doing this little dance step. The first thing that we're doing when we're dodging, we're blocking. Basic middle block using your left hand. And this hand grabs underneath of their arm. So you're going to do an arm drag and move yourself over this way. All right, so watch it again. It's dodge and block and grab underneath the arm and then drag. Okay? Now the arm drag, I have to say, is pretty tricky to practice by yourself. If you want to practice it with someone else, you say, hey, could you punch me with your right hand? Right? Or even just touch at you with the right hand. You can kind of get a feel for it. But if you're practicing it to the air, just get the footwork down. If you got the footwork, right, and the hands feel a little bit weird, that will be able to firm up another day. Ready? So dodge, drag, and move yourself. Okay? One more time. Ready? Dodge, and then drag and move yourself. Okay. So now, let's go over the next part, which is starting to strike them. Because up until now, we haven't done any of those Hugaryu strikes that we were practicing earlier, and we probably should do a Hugaryu strike or two. So if I'm here, right, you might just want to watch here, right, I'm going to dodge, drag, and now I'm going to start hitting. Okay? That's the part that we're going to be doing next. So watch it from this side, right? I dodge, drag. When I drag in, when I dodge and then dive in, right, instead of dragging there, I'm going to be doing two Hugaryus. The first one's an upside down Hugaryu, and the second one's a regular Hugaryu. And you'd be hitting them right in the stomach. So if you watch me here, I dodge, and then as I jump in here, right, I kind of drag their arm, and now I hit them 1, 2, right in the tummy as I move forward. Okay? Let's try and add in those strikes. Ready? You're going to dodge out of the way. You're going to drag, dive yourself in, and hit 1, 2 into their stomach. That second Hugaryu hits just like we said, boom, right in close to their body. Now you're going to notice to do a Hugaryu strike, if you're practicing this on the target, you're really, really really close. That's the plan. You want to be really close to them, right? So again, dodge, drag, and dive in there, and hit 1, 2. Now from here, the next move that we're going to do, I'm not going to step my feet again. We've been doing a lot of stepping and moving from side to side. All I'm going to do is I'm going to twist, right? As I twist, I'm going to Hugaryu, boom, to the back of their neck or head, okay? Because if you hit someone in the stomach really hard, they tend to go like this, oof. And you're taking your hand, you're coming on the back of their neck or their head, right? The trick that I want you to focus on, though, is turning your feet. If you're turning your feet and not stepping, that's really good and the main thing we're focusing on today. So we're going to dodge, drag, and jump in. And now from here, don't step, just twist and do your Hugaryu. Okay, so let's try that a couple times together. Ready? Dodge out of the way, drag, 1, 2, turn, hit, just like that. Right, and again, you can see my feet didn't really move very much, just a lot of twisting. Okay, last time, and then we're going to add in the next move. Right, so I'm going to dodge out of the way, drag, dive in, right? I'm going to turn and hit. From here, you would grab them, stand them up, and then step and Hugaryu take down. It's kind of like a Hugaryu sweep if you're familiar with that. But the big thing I want you to focus on, again, is the footwork, right? So watch my feet as I do it. All right, we've got this. All right, we've got this. And then I turn as I do my takedown. Okay, so there's an extra step. There's one more step. It's only 1 foot. All right, don't take 2 steps with 2 different feet. Let's do it. Ready? Dodge, drag, dive in, right? Hit, lift up, and take down, just like that. All right, one more time. Again, if you have to forget about the hands, you're like, I can't keep up with all the hands, just focus on the feet. That's all I'm going to do this time. I'm not even going to use my hands. Dodge out of the way, dive in, turn, and then I step. Okay, and again, if you can use your hands, awesome. If you can't use your hands, that's okay. Just get this footwork down. Ready? Dodge to that side of your room, dive into that side of your room, turn to this side of your room, and then turn and step. All right. Let's try it one more time with me, and then 2 times without. Ready? And dodge, drag, dive in, turn and hit, pick them up, and step and take down. Okay, now it's showtime. Can you do it without me showing you all the moves? Ready? Dodge out of the way, dive in as you do your Hugaryus, turn and hit, pick them up, step and take them down. Okay, hopefully you got that. If you need a moment, go ahead and pause it. Right? Be like, oh, I gotta practice this, rewind it. One more time. When I say go, try and do the whole thing. Ready, set, and go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, time. If you're able to do it before I could count to 5, good on you, right? That may be a sign that you should have that checked in a private session or in a group class. Be like, hey, Sensei, can you take a look at this? Because I was able to do it in 5 seconds. If you weren't able to do it, right, maybe it took you a little bit too long, I'd recommend practicing a few times by yourself. Pause this or rewind it and do it a few more times until you can get it down to like that 5-second kind of time frame before you ask for too much help, right? Obviously, you can always ask for help, but don't ask to be like tested, like, oh, am I ready for my strike? Because I can do it and it only takes me 13 minutes. 13 minutes is a little bit too slow, guys, right? 5 seconds is pretty good. All right, so with all that being said, good job on Hugaryu number 2. Let's keep moving on to the next part of class. All right, as we wrap up our discussion on sportsmanship this month, I want to talk a little bit about that moment at the end of the game, right? And we've probably all had this happen where you're at the end of the game and somebody who's won they're celebrating a little bit too much, right? And they're celebrating the wrong way. They're they're saying mean things to the other team. They're like, we beat you guys, stink, or whatever other words they use that are not particularly nice. Or the other option, someone who's lost, is saying some of the same things maybe to their own teammates, like, I can't believe we lost because of you, right? Or they're saying mean things to the other team. And one of the things that happens there is, in addition to showing a lack of respect, you also don't get the chance to grow and improve that you want. When you've won a game or you've lost a game, a great thing to do at the end is obviously you should celebrate a little bit, right? Maybe you could be a little bit sad, but you should start spending some of your time and energy on figuring out how you can win next time. Right? Like, oh man, why did we lose last time? Oh, we have to practice this, right? Maybe we had a contest in class and you lost the kicking contest, right? It was a race, do 10 of each kick on each leg. Like, oh man, I think I was a little bit slow on my spinning hook kick, so I should practice that, right? And you start thinking about what you can do to be better instead of telling the other team why they cheated or telling your team why they lost or whatever it was. Instead, think about what you can do to be better. And that's a great energy to have. And it requires some sportsmanship to do that because it's showing control over your emotions, right? So what I want you to do is, you're going to lose something at one point soon, right? I don't know what it is. It's a video game. It's a board game against your brother, your sister, your mom, your dad. I don't know, whatever it is. I want you to take that moment to show some sportsmanship. At the end of the game, say, hey, good game, right? But even worse, even better, take a few minutes to think about, what can I do to win next time? What can I learn from that? And if you are trying to learn from your victories and your defeats, man, you're going to do a fantastic job of being a champion in pretty much anything you do. All right, so keep that in mind. Let's keep moving on to the next part of class. All right, so we're going to work on one of our closing the gap combinations today. And this is the one that starts off with the hopping in knee, right? The tie hop. So it's this where you hop in, cross, kind of hooking uppercut, and roundhouse kick. So what we want to do right now is we just want to kind of walk through this a few times together. Right? After we've gone through it a few times together, we'll start talking some of the details to make it better and better. With that being said, set yourself up with your right leg back. We're going to make sure we're using the correct leg, correct hand, all that great stuff. Right? The good news is each one of your 4 limbs gets a job today. Right? Only gets one job though. Right? Well, I guess one striking movement. So first is I hop in, I do my knee, then I'm going to do a cross, that kind of hooking uppercut, and then the one leg that hasn't done a strike yet does a roundhouse kick, just like that. Okay, so we're going to run through that a few times. Let's do 5 on one side, 5 on the other, and then we're going to start talking some of the details. Ready? And 1, hop in, 1, 2, 3. All right, let's go again. Set yourself up, and 2, hop in, 1, 2, and 3. All right, come on back. Speaking of 3, ready? 3. Come on back. 4. Come on back. Last one, and 5. Okie dokie. We're switching things up to the other side, the same basic idea. You'll be using your right knee now. Ready? Hop in, right knee, left cross, right hooking uppercut, left roundhouse kick, and come on back. All right? Let's go again. Ready? And 2. Come on back. And 3. Come on back. 4. Come on back. Last one. 5. Okie dokie. So that's just to basically check to make sure you know the pattern of this. Let's talk some of the details. One of the things about this is this combination does head, body, head, right? If you ever had to defend yourself against head strikes and body strikes, your arms can cover either, right? I can put my arms covering my body, or I can put them covering my head. Can't do both, right? Unless you got really, really, really long forearms and a tiny head. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to hit them in different zones or different parts of their body. So they can't just stand there and cover up. Instead, they have to be able to block. It's much harder to reactively block than just put your arms and say, like, I'm going to stand here for the next 10 minutes while you punch me in the face. Right? That's pretty easy to defend, right? If they just punch you in the face, block, you're good, right? But if they start changing it up to different heights, you got to move and respond much, much harder. So with that being said, you want to change the heights on your strikes. Head, body, head, right? Keep that in mind. We're going to do, let's do 3 more on each side. Ready? Set yourself up. Ready? Hop in, head, body, head, right? And then you'll go on back. Same thing, head, body, head. Ready? And 2, head, body, head. Back. And 3, hop in. That doesn't hit anything. Head, body, head. Right? Though that does kind of lower their guard. Most people tend to block because they don't like getting kicked in the stomach. All right, switch your legs. Same idea. Head, body, head. Ready? And 1, head, body, head. Come on back. Let's do it again. Ready? And head, body, head. Come on back. And 3, go. Head, body, head. All right, come on back. Now, next little thing I want you to think about doing is make sure you cover some ground. We went over this a couple weeks ago, but if you're just standing in the same spot, it don't work. Again, this combination is about, I'm out here, away from my opponent, I gotta get in there. I'm too far away to hit him, right? So you gotta close that gap. But when you close the gap, you still have to maintain your stance. So if I'm here, and I take this big lunge and let my feet get apart, right? That's wicked hard to throw a roundhouse kick from this position. Wicked hard to do a lot of things, right? I've got to close the gap, make sure that this foot moves, but I end up in a stance where I can still move back out or throw strikes forward, right? While still doing head, body, head, all right? So this time I'm not going to demonstrate. I want to see if you can do it without having to copy me. We're going to do 3 on each side. I want you to really emphasize in your head, I'm going to close the gap, maintain my balance to be able to do my 3 strikes. If you're having a hard time remembering the combination without me, maybe a good idea to pause this, practice a few times by yourself, even rewind and be like, hey, let me go back to the easier round a couple times until I feel really good about that. But we're going to keep moving forward. Set yourselves up in a fighting stance, close the gap, change your heights, do the correct strikes. Ready? And 1. All right, should be done by now. Reset back. All right, we're going to go again. Ready? And 2. Hop in with that knee, cross, hook, roundhouse kick, get back. One more time. Ready, set, and go. Change those heights, head, body, and then head again. Okay. Switch your legs, same thing the other side. Close the gap, different heights for your targets, and make sure you do the correct pattern, alternating hands and stuff like that. Ready? And go. Should be done by now. If you are, great. If not, not so great. It's okay. Ready? And 2. Hop in, cross, hook, uppercut, roundhouse kick, and reset back. Okay. Last time. Ready, set, go. Close that gap. Head, body, and head. All right. Fantastic. So if you're having a hard time with some of those moves, it's pretty normal. You got to keep practicing that combination. For a lot of people, that head height roundhouse kick, it's a pretty rough one. So what we're going to do now is we're going to switch things up. We're going to work on a different kicking drill that is really designed just to help us improve the height of a roundhouse kick. Right? Let's jump over to that now. All right, if we're working on improving the kicking height on a roundhouse kick or a side kick or any kick that kind of opens sideways, there's two different things that affect it: flexibility and strength. For this one, we're going to be focusing more on the strength side of things. You're going to want to have something like a chair that you can lean on that will give you good support. You can use a wall, you can use a bed, basically anything that's really stable. Okay. Now, there's two things I want you to do in addition to the exercises that we're going to be doing to strengthen our muscles to be able to hold up our leg higher and get it up higher. First thing is, when you do your roundhouse kick, I want you to really focus on having your foot pointed, not flexed. Okay? This is a very good habit, something you can work on doing during these drills. The second thing is to keep your posture up. Now, this chair is actually a little bit low for me to be able to do this very easily. It would be easier if I had something like a wall, but much harder to do a video with a wall right here. And what you want to be able to do is, as you do your kick, keep your hips, your shoulders, and your foot kind of in a line as compared to sticking your head forward and your behind back. Right? We kind of refer to that as piking. We don't want to pike our body when we do a roundhouse kick. We want to have not hips out, we want hips under. Okay, so making sure you maintain that is going to be really important and helpful for developing the strength that we need to kick high. We're going to be doing 3 different moves on 2 different legs. So that's 6, right? And each one is going to be for 30 seconds. So that's about like 3 minutes. Not 30 minutes. Well, this would be hard for 30 minutes. 3 minutes of just kind of leg strengthening. The first one, you're going to hold on to your thing, right? Whatever it is, you're going to have your leg, and you're just going to try and hold it up pretty high. Whatever burns for you, right? It'll be burning kind of probably in your behind, right? More likely than not. All right, so everybody, I'm going to set my timer. Ready, set, and go. Good up. Hold it up. Try and keep your back up, right? You're going to feel that maybe in your side, maybe the side of your leg, maybe your behind. Anywhere over here is fine, right? Keep breathing, holding it steady. Couple more seconds. 5 to be exact. Good. And we made it. Okay, put that down. We're going to do the same thing with the other leg. I'm just changing my angle so you get a different view of this, so you get an idea of, oh, you lean this way, but you don't lean that way. Ready? Other leg. Go. All right, get the leg out there. Hold it. You can see I'm leaning away from my foot, but just like on the other point of view, I'm making sure I don't stick my behind back and stick my shoulders forward. You want to keep that up there. Good alignment. And again, you can lean a little bit because we're working on strengthening the leg and our oblique and all that kind of good stuff. Holding it. Oh. Gotta make sure the timer is going, otherwise this would be an awkwardly long video clip. Good. And rest. Okay, so that should feel a little bit. If it doesn't feel like you were doing anything, you weren't doing anything. Okay? And that's no good. Second version of this. Okay? Very similar exercise. This time, we're going to move our foot side to side like this. Not up and down, side to side. So you can see it's like this. It's kind of like I'm doing a very small roundhouse kick, tapping a target. Okay? So we're going for 30 seconds. Get yourself set up on your mark. Get set, go. Legs out, side, side, side. Right? Developing that strength. And again, you got to find the right height for you, right? Now I could probably go a little bit higher for myself, but it would be so much harder to talk and to teach. So I'm going like, I feel it, but this is my hardest. If you can go higher, go for it. Right? Some of you got some really flexible folks. They can kick almost vertical. That's awesome. Good. And time. Okay, we're switching legs. Now, if you're doing this against the wall, you may not be watching me on every one of these. That's okay. Do your thing, whichever way works for you. Other leg, ready? And go for it. Leg is up, and you can see a little bit more clearly on this side. I'm just going side to side. There's not a lot of up and down. Try not to let it drop. It obviously wants to, because gravity is a real thing, but you're fighting for that, trying to keep your leg up. Don't forget to breathe. Good, almost there. Toes are pointed, I hope. And that's time. Okay, take a deep breath. Last round. This one, we're gonna focus on going up and down. Now, one thing about this, when you go up and down, don't let your knee turn up. So some people, when they try and go up and down, they do it like a front kick. No, no, no. No, no, no. Keep it like a roundhouse kick and go up and down, up and down, up and down. All right? Ready? Set. Go get your spot and squeeze it. Just a couple inches up and down. It's not going really far. Some people do these big swings. That's not what we want. Small movement. You can see it's only going like, I don't know, 6 inches, 8 inches up and down. Not like these big swings. That's a momentum move, not a strength move. Good, almost there. Finish strong, you can do it. That's time. Whew. Okay, so hopefully you're feeling that. Feel your muscles burning. Remember, when your muscles are burning, it means you're getting stronger. Taking an extra moment, getting ready for this last one. Ready, set, and go for it. Get to your spot, up and down, up and down. You can see a little bit better on this point of view how it's that small movement as compared to letting it drop and picking it up. That's not it, this. Keep your good balance. Hold yourself up there. Feel the fire. Good, and time. Okay, so that little 3-minute exercise, hopefully you feel that, right? If you did feel it, good sign you were doing it right. If you didn't, maybe you need to hold it a little higher for yourself next time. Whatever it is, great job. Let's keep moving on to the next part of class. All right, folks, so we're going to be doing a little end with balance challenge. Now, there's actually going to be 4 different ways you can try and do this. You get to pick whichever level you want, and you get 3 tries to try and beat it. Once you beat one of the levels, you're good. You can end the video and move on, right? So here are the 4 different options. I want you to try each and every one of these. Right, first one is you just stand on one foot with your foot up in the air, right? It can be anywhere you want, okay? It can move around, it doesn't matter, okay? That was easy, I hope. If it wasn't easy, well, that's probably the one for you to do. Second one, a little bit harder. We're gonna do the same thing, except we're going to just keep our foot stuck to our knee like this, okay? Again, a little bit harder than the last one, but not by much. If it's a challenge for you, that's probably the right one for you to be trying, at least for your first couple times in this game. Next one, we're going to be doing it where we bring our knee up to our chest and give it a hug. Right, now you can see this is a little bit harder even for me. Right, just hold it for 30 seconds. Definitely a little bit more challenging. One of the keys here is 2 hands on your knee. You can't let go with one hand. Makes it a little bit easier to balance, but it's cheating. Okay, so don't cheat. Last one, right? 4th one, definitely the hardest one. It's when you get into like a Superman stance. For those of you who don't know how a Superman stance works, you stand on one leg. You get your chest nice and low as your hips, and you keep your foot up nice and high, and you hold it. You can put your hands wherever you want, because Superman flies in all sorts of different shapes, sizes, right? Because he's Superman, he can do whatever he wants. He's Superman, okay? So you're gonna pick whichever one of those you wanna do. You get 3 tries. If you put your foot down and you fall down, you lose on that try, come back again. We're gonna give you 3 chances at 30 seconds. If you wanna try it some more afterwards, you can always rewind or set your own timer. Right, so ready? I'll show you the first one. I'll show you the easiest one first in case you want to do that one. Ready, set, go. And you just got to stand on one foot for 30 seconds. Now normally I might say to you like, hey, in class, if you put your foot down, do you give up or do you get up? Right? We would say, hey, we get up. But for today, since it's a challenge, if you put your foot down, just stop and rest. Right? Much easier if you show focus as you do this. So look at one thing so you don't move around too much. Right? Try and look at something that doesn't move. Right? Like, furniture. All right, that's 30 seconds. If you made it, great. If you didn't make it, less great. That's okay, right? Because we got 2 more tries, right? Shake at your leg if you need to. If you want to do this a second time, you can, right? But you don't have to. Next one, I'm gonna show foot on knee, and we're gonna go for 30 seconds. Right? Hold it. Again, much easier if you look at one thing that doesn't move. I wouldn't even look at the TV screen or the iPad, whatever you're watching on. I would look at something like a doorknob, right? Hopefully no one comes in your room. Right? Just stare at that one thing, don't move. Try and make it for 30 seconds. You can put your hands out for balance if you need to. If you can keep them in, that's even better. We just gotta make it for 30 seconds. Show your good focus. All right, that's 30 seconds, that one. Okay, second chance. If you made it and you wanna leave, you're good, you can go. If you wanna try a harder version, you can absolutely do that. It's extra credit, not required, okay? All right, going to the third turn, right? I'm gonna be grabbing my leg with 2 hands, right? I'm gonna make sure my timer actually starts this time. Ready, set, and go. Grab, hold on with 2, try and balance. Now this is our last chance, so if you don't make it on this one, that's okay, right? You can either say, I'll get it next time, right? Or you can practice by yourself, right? Until you get it. Just set a timer for 30 seconds. A good way to use that timer, just watch a commercial. You can see sideways, my knee is up high, fighting for balance. A few more seconds, and time. All right, so if you made it, fantastic. If not, like I said, feel free to practice, or just come back next time that we're in class. Hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.